Hello there, welcome back to Charles Circle, and welcome back to Old World. Last time, we started to pivot towards preparing for war with Babylon. We cranked out and upgraded quite a few units, including a focus on our navy, and we started to really push up here to pacify, finally, and hopefully permanently, this northern border with the Danes, in order to allow us to be able to focus more fully on this southern front when the war inevitably occurs. A happy byproduct of that push to pacify up north here is that we did manage to drop a new city on one of those newly cleared out city sites, and we're probably going to drop a second one over here, fingers crossed, as soon as this turn, maybe even. Let's see. And probably a third later this episode. Fingers crossed. Let's see how that goes. But I think we'll be able to keep that streak of one new city per episode alive, which, yay, that's fun. Now, security on our northern border was one condition before we can declare the war, but the other is naval superiority. We've talked about why that's important. We need to be able to control this crossing to keep Babylon from being able to reinforce and send units across easily. And while we did get started going there, we upgraded, as I mentioned, our existing navy. We started making more units, and numbers matter. But I've just noticed a terrible development. See how their boats are bigger now? These are triremes. They have upgraded the next level of technology for naval combat. We only have biremes. And even our super juiced up, mega promoted bireme has 9 combat strength, only on attack, by the way, not on defense. Yeah, their base combat strength is 8. The fact that they have a friendly family makes it basically 9, and they don't even have a general assigned. So that's not ideal for us, right? We'll have to try to even that out somewhat by, I guess we can assign a general here ourselves, right? So the nice thing, actually, we have a bunch of excess landowner generals because landowner family generals, because we don't have many landowner units, actually. And we've got a couple now, I suppose, out here somewhere maybe, but really they're the ones where we have a bit of a reserve. So fortunately, we can at least get them on this, one of them on this trireme, or on this bireme. So let's do Tetabastus. Plus 20% for the same adjacent unit is a great combat bonus that we can definitely make use of by simply stacking our boats together. And the rest of this is pretty good too. So let's do that. And then over here, this is our Sages family. So we only have the, I think this is our recently married to our son. This is our new daughter-in-law, maybe, general, and she's not associated with the family, so she can do any. And I think, yeah, I think this is good. Survivability here would be great. Basically means like if you were gonna die, you last one more. You require them to spend one more attack to kill the unit. And also a 15% attack strength jump is not bad. She has a Swift promotion, but we've already got Swift on this boat. I think that's a bummer, but not disqualifying. So this will help a little bit. Frankly, not a ton. It would be great if we could get that technology ourselves, but it is a little bit down the road, unfortunately. We just haven't focused here yet. So triremes are down here, cartography. And yeah, we could get there, right? But it's one of those lines where we kind of have a little bit of catch up to do. And just like with Polis, a few last couple episodes, there's no guarantees that we're going to get it right away. We do have to draw it, so it will require a little bit of luck. That said, the one good thing that we have from a unit technology front is we did get the horseman technology, so we should be able to upgrade our chariots over the course of the next couple of turns. So that's nice. We'll be happy to do that. We don't need to do that immediately to prosecute these border raids here. So I think we'll be all right. But we'll definitely make sure that we have those upgraded and ready to go before we go into war. So first things first, let's focus on wrapping up the Danes, right? So maybe we'll go over here. Seems like the simpler spot. That could be a route kill. This could be a nice double shot from the ballista. But if we do that, there's no chance to get a route kill anyway, so I suppose we might as well. Oh, and he won't even move in there for some reason. Fine, okay, whatever. Let's say 10, 4, sure. That'll take another turn or two, no worries. And then on this front, let's see. I'd love to snipe this guy and then sneak our settler in there and get a city dropped. I think we can probably make that happen here, right? So he's definitely dug in there. It's an urban tile, and it's an upgraded bastion, which is basically like a fort. They get a lot of defense for that. So this is probably going to take more attacks than I want it to. But I think we'll be okay. I would love to get greedy and try to poke through here, but something tells me we're not going to be able to secure that kill. On the other hand, we can't get around him, so I guess we're crossing our fingers and hoping we poke through. Yeah, we won't enough. Okay, that'll take another turn as well. Oh! But we did roll a critical on that guy, so great. That's still progress then. Does this guy reach? He doesn't. We could force march him. I don't know. Does one turn make a difference here? I don't think we want to spend our training on that, so I think we'll be okay there. What we might do instead, actually, is come back and upgrade him. So we can upgrade him to either a horseman, which is the same thing, it's just mounted melee, right? Or we could go to horse archer, which is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's a ranged mobile unit. Not unlike, by the way, the light chariot that we have over here. So the light chariot's base stats, I guess, right? That's a good question. This is a base 6 combat strength, 4 movement, 2 range. The horse archer would be a little bit less movement, but essentially the same then. Or do we go melee? I think we'll go melee. We have enough ranged units, probably, right? They have a bunch of spears, but ultimately, we'll probably do a mix, but I think here we're just going to go horseman. Check it out. First horseman. Okay, so that's nice, and then I guess we have a couple events we should probably take a peek at. Oxum, as a reminder, very much the strongest player on the board right now. They are much stronger than us, according to the game. We are in fact paying them already for peace, 65 a turn, and they are trying to shake us down for more, essentially. I mean, 2 legitimacy is nothing here for a 40 opinion bonus and not losing. Or I guess we lose the peace no matter what? Yeah, I guess we do. I guess we're moving to truce no matter what. This seems locked in. Well, okay, so we can try to get them back up above 0, I guess. Yeah, the truce is... It's already a truce. The peace is over. Okay, I see. This costs my pride, which is not listed down here, but does matter. And yet, I think the answer is 2 legitimacy is really not that big of a deal, and I would like the bonus that pushes us up over 0 here. So, not my favorite, but we'll live with it. Spymaster upgrade, 2.5 science, 5 family opinion, or most of an order. We do okay on science, but I kind of feel like pushing further in that direction is even more helpful. So this guy, we will, I guess, wait a turn on. I don't know where we'll drop the site. It doesn't have to necessarily be on this site. It can be any of these. So I guess technically there's some value, right, in moving him forward 1 tile so that he could reach even the furthest one. definitely overthinking that, right? Let's see, where else? All right, we have units variously across our map here, but I don't know that we need to worry about moving any of them around right this second. Let's maybe go to our workers next. And one of the other things I really want to make sure that we have, just because it's going to be really important in wartime, is that our road network is fully resolved. And so, for example, is this guy? No. Okay, so we have a road here, but we need it to come down out of the hill in order to reduce that movement cost. Yeah, okay, so now he can go much further in one turn. All right, good. Being able to move units in and out of what will essentially be our front line, like that's going to be really important. So I think we're pleased now with that. There's some value in continuing the road past. For like siege units, right, it still matters regardless of terrain, but that is much less important than it was. That's sort of a marginal gain. All right, up here we said you wait. Now this way, what do we do out here? So Mero, I think we said is, yeah, turning into a military production city here in relatively short order. Additional walls might not be the worst thing in the world. This has definitely been our most painful border city out in this direction. So thinking about what improvements, right, we would want to go along with that. Actually, you know what? Here's a thought. In general, right, we've made a really strong push the last few episodes that I would argue is paying off to really fundamentally increase our basic RGO, generation of these basic resources, right? And so we're in a great spot there. And of course, there's value in continuing to go further. But I think what we also have is a bit of breathing room in order to maybe pivot towards a few more like urban tile improvements. And one of the things that's been on my mind, well, besides wonders, which we just don't have, we need to get to a legendary culture in a city before we can go in that direction, and also to afford any of these things. But I was also sort of thinking, I think we need to get more Odeons down. We started to do this a couple places, but we haven't done it more thoroughly yet. And the reason I'm saying this is we need to get to 54 victory points, and you get 1 victory point per level of culture per city. So the max that a single city can give you is 4. And we're pretty close actually over here. So we're getting 3 points right now for the strong level in Wasset. And once we, in no more than 20 turns, this will increase over time likely, no more than 20 turns from now, this will get us our 4th victory point. It'll also allow us to build those wonders that I was just showing you in this city. And that's great. But most other places, this is weak, not even developing, weak, 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 developing, that's 2 points, developing, 2 points. So we have a lot more victory point potential based on the number of cities, since we've expanded pretty widely here, if we get some culture going. And an Odeon will tick up the culture slowly but surely over time. So it's worth doing now before we are in that victory point crunch at the end. So I'd like to get these down somewhere. Roughly speaking, it's nice if they can be near rivers, because that's where you want to put your hamlets, and these have adjacency bonuses for those, but it matters much less than just like getting it down, right? It's one of those things where, like, yeah, if you can optimize it, that's great. Most important thing though, it's far better to have an unoptimized one down now than a perfectly optimized one down like later into the future. So I think we want that sorted. And then this shrine would also be some culture. But again, this one, they keep suggesting to us not adjacent to a mountain or a volcano. And again, if I had placed this, 20 turns ago when we first could, then that 50% bonus wouldn't matter at all. So this is exactly what I'm talking about as far as like, I should really just place it. So let's do it here, I guess. That's 4. And that will at least give me, it'll save a little bit of face for me, because it'll at least be better than normal. and it doesn't quite justify the delay that close, but it's something, I suppose. Similarly here, we really ought to get this out too. Now, new units starting with healer means that the value would probably be higher in a city producing military units. So maybe we'll do that. Could we get this guy down there? And then it's per adjacent grove. Do we have any groves? Well, I mean, we don't have the tech for groves yet, so. Groves are for like out here, honey. This is groves and olives, but I'm not gonna worry about that so much. I think prefer to just get this down here as well. Great. All right. Where else do we have workers that need an assignment? So we've got, I guess, geez, 3 up here, 1 here. What do we want to do in Pyramses? So this actually is a like frontline city, right? So maybe could we get a garrison here just because, right, there's a defensive bonus, and eventually we'd like to build some units here too, I think. So yeah, let's go garrison here. Maybe get some barracks or ranges out here. That would add some training. I'd like this to become like a shipyard type city for us. If I think about the other ones that we can build boats in, our capital, there's just so much that you want to build in your capital, including just further developing your capital. And then over here, this is a landowner city. It's terrible at producing units. So the fact that this isn't perfectly placed, like I'd love if it were on this side of the bay, just to save us the orders of rearranging the units afterwards, but it's much more important that we're able to get raw numbers out there, so that will be important, I think. And then out here, I think we kind of want to do a road connecting these cities. Does that make some sense? I think it might. All right, so then let's call it here, and then road our way. Actually, I think we'll go through this set of hills, because this is closer out here, and I do kind of want to connect this up eventually. Doesn't matter so much, but same as I said earlier, right, with Siege, it matters if there's a road, whether or not it's flat open terrain. Out here, well, that was a misclick. Do we want to, let's see. Actually, we're getting low on orders. The one other thing I wanted to do, so Pitakeika is our military production city, and it lost its governor. I hope it was just this turn, but it might have been an extra turn, unfortunately. And we need to, we have to take someone off of a different city to do this. But this is a city that we simply cannot afford to not be able to pick our production in. Zoroastrian Disciple is not what we need to be being made in our most important military production city in preparation for a war. So I think, unfortunately, it's probably this guy, because he increases local unit production rate by way of his training stat. And I guess that means we'll have to take him off of, he's currently at Buhen, which is up here. I think I'm okay with that. You hate to do it, but it is what it is. I do think the Grand Vizier will allow us to finish what we've already set up there in queue, but then whatever they do afterwards, I will live with. That is fine. All right, and then with our last few remaining orders here, let's see. We want to keep going with the road here. That's really important. So we'll have him get moving. And then we have an Odeon in this city already, right? Tell me, please. Bet we don't. Ugh. We don't. Yeah. All right, well, let's use the correct family. Oh, we have the market tech now, too. 60 gold's not bad, right? I don't think I want to prioritize it quite yet. I think we need the Odeon instead. But that's a good thing to keep in mind, that we do have now finally access to. I'm not going to worry about adjacency here because, yeah, there's nowhere to jam in hamlets in a convenient way anyway, so whatever works. Also, we don't have enough orders to do it this turn anyway, so let's just get you down here. And hey, you know what else I could do that I haven't had a chance to show off yet? There's a pin system in this game. So if you hold Alt and then click down, you can pick, you can send sort of a message, and like you can write like a text, and then what I find most helpful is the improvement planning tick that you can do, and then you can say, remind me in one turn that I wanted to build an Odeon here. I don't generally need to do this to remember one turn later, but I'm not incredibly my memory's not perfect, let's just say that. So it can be helpful from time to time, and if you want to plan your adjacency bonuses, if you really like to do that micro, then that's a tool that you can use. You can also automate workers, right? You can sort of lay out what you want the city to look like and then let your workers kind of go to town. I personally like the control of being able to decide what's most important when. Oh my god, we didn't just lose our ballista, did we? Okay. I think not. But there, see, we've gotten our little reminder. All right. I'm coming back, I want to make sure. All right, good. We are not dead there. Do we go here? Route. Attack. And then this guy. Definitely we heal up. Actually, do we definitely heal up? I guess we could just secure the kill, or no? No, we cannot. Yeah, so no, we heal up. All right, an event though. Wisdom texts. Oppie, our grandson, third in line, has been reading. Well, good for him. Do we give him wisdom bonus, discipline bonus, charisma bonus, wisdom? All right, and then out here, we've discovered a series of burial mounds outside the conquered camp. They are lavish and richly ornamented. Something tells me, yeah, we're going to either loot or not. Well, they're not going to be less mad at us. They're at negative 701, and we're about to eliminate them. I think we're going to take the cash. Might be the most obvious choice we've had in a while, huh? All right, and then our city site. Oh, interesting. We can come all the way over here. This will be coastal too, I imagine. Not conveniently coastal in any way, but this looks like proper water, and like not a lake. It's a coast color and label. It says coast. Let's see. I think we'll just kind of push the furthest in this direction that we can, and because we don't know what resources are up here, but let's just go here, I guess. And then who do we owe a city? Let's see. I think we're actually... Okay, so we owe the sages a city. I could do the sages here, actually. So they get lots of civics, right? Which is helpful for producing specialists. And I'm sort of thinking about that as a feed-forward loop. I see a lot of adjacent to mountains tiles here, which is what quarries are great for. Quarries, a specialist in a quarry makes civics, and that makes making specialists easier, so that's kind of like a virtuous cycle that would generate a ton of both civics and stone for us. So that said, all the way out here, yeah, I doubt we put a governor down, which means that we are probably just letting the Grand Vizier take care of it. Sure, why not? Build us an archer. I'll take it. More ruins, check that out. But yeah, so this does wrap around here. You know, I had this thought, checking at the mini-map, like this feels like kind of Scandinavian, doesn't it? And then this would be like the Baltic Sea and the North Sea and the Straits and I guess Denmark being around here somewhere. This is a randomly generated map. This is not like an attempt to replicate that. But it kind of feels that way, even with these mountains kind of like coming parallel down here. The fact that it was the Danes that was, you know, the clearly Scandinavian flavored tribe that was sprinkled along here was what gave me that thought initially. And then I saw the shape. I was like, huh, okay, interesting. Well, let's go ahead and eject the Danes then, I suppose. Well, that shouldn't be too hard to do. At this point, we are cruising. All right, so we need to heal here. But this can heal in open territory. And 9. So I actually think we use this one to run on up here. Our explorers are struck by the carved remnants of some Zoroastrian religious art. Oh, but that's strange because it's been abandoned since before Zoroastrianism was really around. So we can get a nice little bonus. We can give this site, whatever that means, to the Zoroastrians for a bonus in opinion. Oh, or we could grab, well, some freestone, or some culture and spreading Zoroastrianism. I think we'll do that because that's a nice little bonus to a brand new city, which is now officially 20% of the way to the next level of culture and victory point. Cool. And then we heal. Here, I think similarly, let's advance and heal. And then, yeah, do we keep pushing our archers forward too? I want to like commit the minimum necessary units here so that we don't have to spend a ton of orders bringing stuff back. But at the same time, I really don't want to underreact or undercommit here either. So let's go ahead and send. Oh, nice. That'll be nice to have. Silver resource is great. So is this gold, by the way. It's just unfortunately kind of between these two cities. We'll get to it, I'm sure. Right up here. You have a route attack, I guess, still that you can use. Probably should do that. Who else is left? So we have our garrison axemen in these cities. That's fine to maintain. This guy is our horseman, finally. I'm thinking with all these spears in this area, like what I'd actually like to do is get our macemen over here. Well, our axemen, they'll be macemen eventually. Because then I'm like, all right, well, what can we do with our horsemen, right? What's the best place to allocate them? And like, there's an argument for out this way, right? But I don't know that we even really want to push in this area. I'm not taking it off the table, but like, this is going to be hard to get through on a land border. Oxen is not going to be cool with us wandering through. And this is a volcano. And so if we want to push in this territory, we're going to be faced with the exact same problem that they're faced with, which is the hard requirement for naval superiority and, to ferry units across. And it's also pretty difficult to evacuate them if it turns out that your little invasion was a terrible idea too. So I think the goal of the war really is going to be to grab these two cities and then retrench. Again, I won't take anything off the table. You never know what might happen, but I'm not sure that we really care about doing anything other than holding on this front. So I think that's okay. So let's go ahead and get this guy down along the border here somewhere. And then spearmen. Other spearmen. Oh, yeah, okay, so we could get a landowner. Yeah, landowner. Landowner family general on one of these, which would be nice. Let's do that. Who is this guy? It's a bummer he's mad at us. Could he be not mad at us instead? So we could try to influence for 202 orders, 200 gold, 2 orders, or we could ask our very happy head of, or the very happy Grand Vizier, right, to do the same thing, but cheaper. So let's do that. It also doesn't occupy our leader. Heck, I guess we could do both now that I think about it. Let's do that. Angry generals are bad for a number of reasons, events, but also just the direct actual debuff that you get to their combat strength, which is not what you want. All right, what else do we have here? Biremes. Maybe we could bring this guy down a little bit closer, maybe. Here, I think we should probably focus on the eco first, I guess. So this guy we wanted to be an Odeon. We set a reminder and everything and then immediately forgot. Sometimes all the tools in the world don't fix the fact that you're a human being. And then this guy. I kind of want to get a road up here because we're going to have to pull these units back as well. So I'm kind of thinking let's set that up. Now, why would it go like that? I'd rather it went like this, or is this... that sand, I see, that sand is impassable. Just like a mountain is. That sand tile is impassable. So, sure, set that up, take care of that over the coming turns. And then in our capital, Horseman, Bireme, Specialist. What do we actually need here? I'm not sure. I mean, again, like I would just love to continue to develop internally, but I don't think that that is quite the right answer. I think we probably need to keep going on the naval front, unfortunately. I don't know if it's unfortunate, but it does need to happen. And get to... We are out of citizens, so a worker seems fine. Actually, you know what we should do here now that I think about it? Let's build a settler. Because we need one to drop in this city site. Is that the best place to build it? That's, I guess, a different question. Well, we don't have a governor here or here, so we actually can't control that. Could we do it faster here? Marginally, but it's more important, I think, to put that towards the boats. Yeah, I think this city has a ton of growth, but also not a governor. Okay, is what it is. That'll have to do. And that's it for orders. 8 more turns until we get this ambition. My goodness. I've kind of started checking in on our ambition status, like, while the turn is processing, if you haven't picked up on that. We are down an ambassador. Perished? Perished. Something tells me we're going to get an event here. And brilliant, we have in fact reduced discontent in Wasset. We have a convert. Uh-oh. Our heir is ill. She's not that old. Hopefully she's fine. And he fell into the water. I missed this. Sorry. Fall into the river? I mean, I guess bummer. We don't want this. Sure. We'll take a free town. It's an upgraded hamlet. Pretty sure, yeah. Cool. I mean, I don't know that I would have traded a character for that, but as far as random death of a character goes, it's not often you get a strong improvement as an offset, so that's nice. And then over here, all right, idle candidate seems fine. Good to have an ambassador. Nefertiti, the governor of Moreau, will now be... Oh, I think warlike, actually, as much as I like more orders. This is a city that we've decided we kind of want to move towards building units in, right? I mean, these numbers are coming down into a pretty reasonable range, and if we can increase by what, like 12% our production, that would be even better. It's 2.6, so we were looking at like 6 turns for an archer in here before. Now it's down to 5. Yeah, we'll shave off a turn or 2. Axeman Spearman. Axeman Spearman. Spearman. Based on it, I have no idea. There's just... we haven't built one in a while. Sometimes there isn't actually an intelligent strategic rationale worth considering. It is simply fine either way. Let's see. I think we do that. Heal up. Get ready to push here, but I think we'll let them kind of come out this direction first. Is that a hill? It is. Secure that kill. Do we push this one forward too, or no? I think we're okay. I don't know if I'm confident enough in that assessment to move it away, but I think I'm gonna not bother moving it forward, if that makes sense. And then, let's see. I do want to get axemen over here. Like this is a bunch of spearmen, and we have axemen. It'd be very silly if they just sat over here doing nothing. So let's get this guy over here. And in fact, maybe this is a good spot to show off the anchor function. Would this work? Not quite. I'd like to get, I guess, here? Because we can chain a couple together, I'm pretty sure. So, it'll take a turn, but then we can run these guys across. And in preparation for that, I suppose I will move one tile closer. Let's do this as well. Yeah, let's get both of these units over. Just need to be on the coast adjacent. Doesn't really matter beyond that. This axeman we leave out here because this is still frontiersy. I think we're okay with the rest of that. Good. What can we do economically? So this guy had built that road. Yeah, we should get an Odeon down here. I'm into that. Let's do it. This one, well, that road's already happening. Might just leave him be. Over here, I think, do we heal or attack? I think we heal. Let them come to us a little bit. And then, yeah, out here, everyone else is good. Just hang out on the border, I think. Maybe we grab a quick promotion here. Might as well, right? A little mobility never hurt anybody, right? We'll do that. And then this ship, I think maybe we just move over here for visibility and we'll call it a semester. Money's pretty good. We are buying stone still. We're making a decent amount, it's just we're also spending more. That's okay. Ah, interesting. Oxum and Hati at truce worries me slightly. Oh, as does us being ill. All right, let's talk about this. Oxum had been fighting Hati. Oxum no longer fighting Hati means that they're probably not going to fight Hati again in the near future, and they probably should, if I were them, pick someone new to fight, which means us or Babylon. Those are the two nations that they share a border with. They've also gotten kind of mad at us the last couple turns. I am paying attention here. I don't know if I'm worried yet. I am paying attention. And we should think about if that's an issue. Hati, however, wants peace, and he'd give us tech for it. I mean, yeah, right? Certainly we'll take that. I mean, we weren't going to fight them anyway. They're on our border. We don't want them to fight us. And we get new laws. I think we're going to take that. Yeah, we might even grab tyranny right away. Let us be bonded by a contract of peace, man. Ooh, we are the glorious. Chem has a strong culture event. That's great. So that's another victory point ticked up. The splendor of Chem has become the envy of an Oxumite city across the borders. Oh boy. So they are they're offering to rebel, but that's going to cause us to declare war. I mean, a free, free spearman's something, I guess. But it's that and like half health over here, which they would be able to heal before we could do anything about, and we'd probably get our asses kicked, frankly. They are much stronger. So we could fund them, which would be actually kind of funny. Or we could trade some legitimacy for 100 points of relationship with the leader of Oxum. That is probably the move. That would resolve all of the all of my concern about them being angry at us of late. So I think we're going to do that. I don't know anything to these rebels. If they were inspired by us, that's not our fault. We're going to do that. And cool. We've got an event from Discovering Battle Line, where our heir, who is also a pretty bloodthirsty general, if I remember correctly, is super into it. And so we give her what? Either a bonus for courage or for discipline. Courage, why not? Our son, Canute the Dane, I think we adopted this guy after clearing out a tribal site, right? What shall we teach him? What is he going to become, actually? He is a philosophy student. Okay, so he could be a governor, he could be a general, we don't know yet. As a governor, we don't have a lot of coastal cities, so I don't think that Pathfinder is a particularly helpful governor ability for us, although, man, it is situationally incredibly powerful on the right map with the right civs, so something to keep in mind. It's not bad generally, just not helpful for us here. Cultivator, we could put him in a farming city and get a whole bunch of extra food out of it. Yeah, there's some value there. Or naturalist. I think we probably have... This is a question. Do we have more lumber mills and pastures or more farms and groves? It's not even a guarantee he ever even becomes a governor, but that's really what that comes down to, right? I think it's probably pretty close and also doesn't really matter. I would say it's probably farms and groves. Not because we even have more of them, because I think they're concentrated in a couple of cities. And a governor obviously can only govern one city at a time. So I think that'll be our rationale. Brilliant, a worker. This is a nice one. So you build quarries lots of places, but you can build them specifically on the marble resource as well. And it's not just a decent amount of stone, it's also directly, before you even build a specialist, some civics. Not many RGOs that'll give you civics. This is also a very good tile. Not that we're building military units here, but obviously in a single tile, 16 iron is pretty good too. I think we prefer the civics, but it's 1A, 1B, and we'll be doing both of them as soon as we can. Here, you heal. I want to upgrade, but you have to heal first, yeah. Seems like such a waste for 3 HP, but let's come back to it. I think we probably do, but... All right, so you getting in a little pierce poke would be great. And I think worth the extra order, even. Does he have Highlander or something? He gets better from the hills. Yeah, he does. Not that we can get around, I was just sort of curious why it was different there. Let's do the poke. Here, we gotta pick which one of these guys we want to clear out. So, Elite Javeliner or Huskarl? Doesn't matter much. I think they should be able to clear him out next turn. Is this one... Can we heal out in... No. Oh, well, I guess we could if we added this fella. Who the heck is this? Why do we have a Scythian? Oh, is this the other kid we adopted? Yeah, because he's 18 now. Interesting. Let's come out here, see what's going on. Yeah. And sure. Let's give him command of the chariot. Here. Why not? Cool. Okay, what else do we have going on? This guy I now feel comfortable, I think, bringing back down. And then on this side, yeah, I mean, I think we have a couple. Well, let's spend this last order, or this last civilian unit, and then just shuffle around some military units here. And these are all military production suggestions they're making for us, and I don't really know that I care for that. That said, worst case scenario, we could end up having some units come up this way, so we could do is on this hill build ourselves a garrison. No, we can't. It's not urban. It will be after the Odeon is built, though, so I think he just has to wait. And you know what? Rather, he was full health anyway, so let's do that. This is all just units in this area. Okay, right. So these guys are anchored. And so we can now move right across. Look at that. It's so fast, right? Obviously you have to finish off the water, but look at where the first order sends him. It's to this tile. It's like very efficient, right? So here, I think we want, well, let's just get him across first. Make sure we have enough orders to get everyone across, and then we'll figure out placement beyond that. But I think those are the only units we need to transport across right now, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Then I suppose we could move them slightly. Get them out of the thick of the forest. I actually don't mind them being on the edge of the forest. It's good defense against ranged. but you know, you don't want them to have to sprint through the forest if you need them to move suddenly. And then last 2 orders I might actually use on, let's see, maybe we'll pacify a city again. Wow, 5 discontent. Okay, so what is discontent most problematic for? Let's remind ourselves, because that'll help us. It's not just about what's the worst level, it's like what's the actual impact. So discontent is family opinion, science, and then maintenance. And so in a city that produces 0 science, or that doesn't have a lot of maintenance, we just don't care very much. Family opinion matters, of course, but we're generally okay over here. With the fair exception of the landowners. I guess that's a good point. Let's keep that in mind, I suppose, but let's go back now and look. So Moreau has the most discontent. It's a family that's fine with us. It's also not that big of a city. And it has that discontent because it's just got attacked so many times. It doesn't generally produce... Right, here's our science. Our science is Wasset by a mile, right? And our second best city for producing science is our leader. Our third and fourth best cities in that, you know, using that same concept, are Pitakeika and Kem. And then our spy master, and then Moreau. So Pitakeika and Kem are reasonable questions. And I think this is probably the right one to do. Let's do it. Then we need to pick a research. Free archer. Free luxury. I'd love to keep moving down the tree, but these are somehow actually both compelling. This can be thought of what? Like 5, 6 turns of training in our best cities? And this is obviously a luxury is very nice to have. It's a little silly. I think we're taking the free archer. I mean, 1 turn is... It's just easy, is the thing. And we're going to war soon. So. And the semester. I would love if Oxum and Carthage fought a war. Like, that's really what we need, is the 2 folks ahead of us to get into a bit of a scrap. Oh, new Danish leader. Come back and take a peek at this. Helga. Well, you're still quite mad. That makes sense. Where's the turn recap one? There we go. So, new Danish leader, not that it matters. We got a free archer. Good. Our heir recovered. And the rest of this seems fine. Okay. This is an event from our intercession that we asked our Grand Vizier to perform. And... interesting. I mean, she has a great opinion of us. So 20 doesn't matter. But we definitely don't want that. We'll do this, that's fine. A talent for geometry. He's good with triangles. Carpenter. I don't know. These are situationally potentially helpful, but who knows? It only matters if he's ever going to be a governor somewhere or a general somewhere, and verse siege and ships is like a pretty narrow thing. I think we just take the science bonus. Zoroastrian discontent. Grab a militia. Appease the Zoroastrian leaders. Or just kind of roll with it. Zoroastrianism... Burkot the Humble is disappointed with us. Minus 65 isn't going to be resolved here, and 280 civics is just way too much. I don't really care for a free militia for that much training either. We're just gonna ignore it. We don't have any Zoroastrian clergy, right? We need, so clergy can remove religious dissent, but only if they're the same one. And I think we have a, yeah, we have a Jewish clergy member, this guy who converted and came across from the Danes, but he can't do anything to Zoroastrian discontent. We could generate a clergy member if we controlled the religion, which we do not. I'm pretty sure there's no other way to... Can he suggest someone? Well, no one is Zoroastrian, at least. Yeah, okay, so I think we just live with that. Not the end of the world. And our son-in-law is Wanton. Okay. We can grant a divorce, berate him, or become estranged from our daughter. Well, yeah, we're just going to grant a divorce, of course. No problem. Interesting question, though, then. Should we try to arrange a new marriage for our daughter? Probably not a bad idea. Try to make one of our families happy. We could also try a foreign marriage. Like, Hati's already at peace with us. We could try to really bring the bridge back around for Oxum. Probably a good idea. The last thing we want is for them to notice us in Babylon fighting and decide to jump on really either of us. We don't want them taking Babylon out either. That's our job. We want to reap those benefits, so. Okay. Let's see. What's the move here? I think we try to clean up here, even if that means falling back a little bit there for a moment. Can you get this kill? You cannot. That's too bad. But between the two of you, you got it. Put him in a good position over there. I think we take a pot shot, fall back, heal. Wait, hang on. This guy can heal in neutral territory, right? That's half the reason we got this guy. Yes. All right. We're doing that instead. Yeah. Okay. Over here, definitely keep healing that ballista. Ah, free court soldier. 2 turns. Oh, but machinery. All right, we need to look at the proper tech tree. So again, in order to get the naval situation back on even footing, what we actually need is rhetoric, but we can target it. That's nice. In fact, if we do that, yeah. So we've marked technologies that are required to get to cartography. That's helpful. But we actually have a couple choices to make along the way. If we do machinery, one, onagers are nice. You have to unpack them, so it takes a turn for them to set up, which is, you know, a kind of a downside. But if you get them in place, right, and essentially can defend them, that's really the thing that they become, is vulnerable, then you can splash in all directions, right? So this is like area of attack. So they're quite good. I like ballista a little bit better. They're just more maneuverable. They're closer to a unit than a siege unit, if that makes sense. But ultimately, ballista are right here, right? So I'm into that. And then the mill is also a thing that we could start putting down. Not that we need more science, but it could be nice. Really, though, I think what we need to do is just sort of turn over that draw pile, right? So is the answer architecture instead, for example? Or 2 turns on a free court soldier? 2 turns is fine, I suppose. Yeah, let's just do that. Free character. We like free characters. Yes, we know we talked about that. And then what are you going to do? I actually kind of want to road up this way, too. Same reason I wanted it over here. He's going to finish this. Oh, we want that pretty soon, too. All right, but I want the road first. Let's say, I guess, to here, right? At least to there. Great. What are we making in Pitakeka? Yeah. So, man, this is it. This is what we wanted this city to be. This was the vision. Look at this. 4 turns, we can get out a horseman or a horse archer, both of which start with extra HP, saddleborn, and healer. Pretty good. Pretty good. We take it. I think we'll go horse archers. I like the combination of mobility and ranged. You don't get route, I guess that's probably the trade-off, but mobility and ranged is quite good, especially when you're out here sort of skirmishing. Route is much better for like pushing through in a targeted area. Horse archers are great skirmishers out here. Did we never canceled the, we went out of our way to put a governor in here so that we could change the production, then we just left the production to go? Unfortunate. Spread to Wasset, right? Let's see. Down here, we just want everyone on standby, I think. Same with you. Let's get you out in this area as well. This guy, we wanted a garrison here, but it'll take until this is done to spread the urban tile. We could go and build that, or we could send him up here, right family, to build some improvements in the proper sages matched city over there. What do I want to do here? I think an Odeon's a good idea. Let's do that. Out here, we just did our Odeon, right? Yep, there we go. Any resources that have popped recently that I haven't noticed? I guess that that pasture is something. It's in this city though. This, let's see, what are we missing? We could go further into the Odeon line, so it unlocks the theater, right? If you have developing culture, and that's more culture, which is great. It also costs more stone, but you start to get happiness out of it too. So I'm kind of thinking, why don't we do that? We need more gold. Sell 100. Oh, food prices come down a bit, actually. So it seems like everyone's economies have finally caught up. But iron keeps creeping up, so we'll keep selling that. And then, or do we want the stronghold, actually? That might actually be the answer, so that we can build our unique units here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh no, we don't have developing culture here yet, or what? Why did it? No, we don't yet. Okay, sorry. We will build the theater so that we can get closer to developing culture. No, theater also requires developing culture. Oh my gosh, ignore the last 30 seconds. What are we doing with him? More barracks and ranges. I think that's the answer. They've pulled their navy back a little bit. Kind of want to make sure I know where it is. We have visibility all throughout here, so it's like, where else would it even go, you know? curious. And then out here, I think similarly, right? Let's keep building more military production improvements. And then last worker over here. Let's take advantage of our leader's ability, right? Oh, no, don't have enough units. Orders. All right, no problem. Maybe that'll be a mine later. Is she still ill? Yeah, I'm a little concerned that we have limited time here with our leader. She's been pretty good for us, I gotta say. And in fact, you know, I think our heir is in a good spot, but at the same time, we're gonna take a little bit of a hit when she passes. Let's see. Okay, but speaking of our heir, we can pick somebody. He seems a little bit better. He's also not as old and he's not as mad. Do we get a better dowry? No, this is it. Yeah. Cool. And that should make Oxum marginally less yeah, marginally less likely to fight us. Do we grab a peace event? Try to recapture the peace that we had with them previously. We're up over 100 again. I think we do. Just want to make sure, right, that we aren't going to get jumped in the middle of what will be a risky war for us. So, take that. Let's get this part sorted now too, right? Well, he's infantry, so we'll get him into urban. Do we try to clear out the bastion itself or the adjacent unit? We have 5 turns before another one pops out. So I think the answer is to focus down the extra unit. You, however, this might even be like fall back and heal territory. Let's at least come back to here. I don't know. Probably a bit of a waste. Oh yeah, we wanted him to come over here and build this mine. 40 gold. I mean, that's pretty good for one tile, right? And then this guy. Sure, come on down. I think we're done up there. Over here, new unit. This was our free archer, I think, from the tech, which means he might have been here last turn. Whoops. Bloodthirsty's good. Come on out this way. Worker in the capital. Estates. We should, not yet, we should consider building some of these some places. Areas where we're never going to build a unit, or that like we're just kind of letting the Grand Vizier handle anyway. It adds, right, decent culture, just like the Odeon does. But it also adds happiness, which is great. And if you send a luxury to the city, something you don't mind doing anyway, you unlock this project called Opulence, which costs you gold to maintain, but gives you a victory point. So it's a way to get another point out of each city. Requires a decent amount of investment, but very much possible. Especially if you have access to a lot of luxuries. We don't, exactly, but, you know, it's possible, and we could get there. I think, man, this is quite the build-up here, isn't it? All good there. Let's go ahead and grab another. So this is, yeah, we could do a hamlet there, I guess. I think I'd rather get more military production going though. I like the range. Let's do that. And then last worker over here. I think we said we were going to turn this into a mine, right? Actually, I guess that's a better mine site by a tiny bit. Not worth moving over. Yeah, so there's some navy. The reason I want to keep eyes on it is not because I'm worried about it attacking us, it's that when we do attack on one turn, on first turn, we want to make sure that we at least eliminate one of these big boats, and I can't do that if I don't know where it is. I think we can cancel the anchor over here. Moving means that you have to reset up again, but I just would rather get better visibility here. The thing I don't want is for them to have like 4 boats and I just don't know where they are. We don't attack them on turn 1, and then they all come flying in, force marching. The AI is really good at using like force march efficiently and intelligently. I would rather they didn't. So we want to get the jump on them. But I think we should be able to knock the Danes out here this turn, ideally. Oh my gosh, the Vandals have been eliminated? I thought they still had 2 cities last I looked. Wow. Okay. Narmer. He's going to become a... He wants to lead the barracks for a bit. I don't know. That's not... I think we'd rather have him now, wouldn't we? But then he's all mad at us. Well, maybe this leads to future events. Fine. Let's see. I'm kind of curious more than anything else. Oh, the pikeman unit would be great. We could upgrade our spears, but 12 turns is a lot. And it's a further distraction. Ooh, I love civics. We can't really make that much use of it, can we? I mean, I guess there's a law that we have unlocked, but we can't purchase quite yet. This would be good for us to have. It really would. 20% to all unit training and 10 gold a semester per military unit. Maybe with that in mind, we do grab it. Just to be able to afford to unlock the law next turn. And that's enough for 2 laws too, by the way, right? It's not bad. Okay, reforms program. She grabs some extra wisdom. We can lean into it. Oh, interesting. We don't want that. Yeah, sure, why not? Amos, and this is Pitikeka, so this is important, right? Because he governs our big unit production city. As governor, yeah, that's gonna work. We want that. That is a fantastic, that cuts off a turn already from our horse archer and will make future productions, yeah, even faster. 3, love it, love it. This is giving me like more confidence that we're gonna be able to win this war, because what happens here if we don't get an incredible first jump on them, which is kind of hard to guarantee, then it becomes this like protracted war of attrition, and this is where things can get really expensive. You only win that if you have the right eco and the production of units to sustain that, because you're gonna lose units. And I am cautiously optimistic, much more so than I was an episode ago, that we actually have the production base if we were to get into such a protracted situation. Again, we will try our best not to, even if we could afford to. You'd rather not. But it makes the downside potentially less painful. So let's go wrap this up, yeah? Bam. The Danes have been eliminated. This is what I was missing when we had that event with the Numidians instead. We got to pick a truce, and then they just kind of fell off the map. So that's nice, though. It's probably in the screenshot of the video, if I had to guess. You will have already seen, so you know, but I have yet to make that decision. All right. They are no longer the wellspring of terror they once were. So we get some legitimacy for wiping them out. How shall we honor their legacy? I mean, they were a pain in our ass. Why would we honor anything? Proud doesn't really help us. Because again, she is old and ill. We could grab a one-turn science boost, which would be nice. Or, wow. Permanent 8 culture per turn in Wasset. That would get us to legendary a little bit faster. 12 turns. That would be super powerful if it were earlier, and or this city in particular weren't so much stronger. I don't know that I don't think I need that, you know what I mean? I think we want now the civics boost, because that means even this turn we can grab this law. What I don't know, by the way, is that event where we're doing reforms. It said we might get free laws. I'm gonna be very irritated if it was like, oh, well, we would have given you a free law, but you didn't have any available, because I'm about to purchase one of these. But it is what it is. Let's grab it. So plus 20% to training is just brilliant. We want that. What I'm curious about is per military unit and territory. Is this enemy or ours or both? So I'm going to keep an eye on gold generation here. Looks like it's at least includes ours. Because that went from what, like 94 to more than that? Let me see. Does it show us in the math here? Well, where do we have a military unit in our borders? Let's check that city's gold generation. Actually, shoot, all of ours are on the are on the outside. Whoops. Well, not that we're going to solve for that, but let's check the gold generation of Moreau as a result of this, right? So that's your income. Show me. Tyranny, plus 10. Yeah, cool. All right, so if you garrison a military unit, you get 10 bucks for it. So I'm not going to build military units just to garrison them, but if you already got them, I bet we get 10 gold here too for that. We'll take it. So we need, this settler is still 4 turns out, my goodness. We can't do much about that, but that's fine. We'll drop that soon. And then, yeah, let's start rotating these units down here. This is really nice. No more tribal nonsense up here. We will probably still get the occasional barbarian raid from the actual edge of the map. That is a thing that happens. So we're not done for forever. I was told the Vandals were eliminated. What is going on here? I'm very confused. Must just be we don't have visibility. Must be that these are both probably occupied by Carthage right now, if I had to guess. Should we scout? Yep. That is a lot of units near our border with a leader who isn't super happy with us. It would be great if she would pass away soon and we would get a chance to reset diplomatically. That said, it's not just her. It's not great in general. I wonder, could we be happier with their religion? Maybe? Well, She's ill, so personal diplomacy isn't a great venue for us. It's just risky, and/or resets when she passes. So the ballista, very important unit for us. We got to get over here. It's gonna take for freaking ever. Oh, I think it's faster to come out this way. The road matters a lot, right? So this is gonna feel a little bit backwards at first, but I think it has to happen. So it comes out like this, and along the road. Okay, and then who else needs redeployed? You're in a good spot. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Maybe we'll do that. These are all fine, I think. Grab some, like, you know, top off promotions here. They don't have a ton of ranged units out this way. I think we probably just want... Yeah, strike is good. We'll take it. How about you? What's your deal? 140? 160? 110? Nobody needs a general, but doesn't have... You know, I think we've assigned essentially all the generals we can right now. Alright, fine, no worries. I also don't want to spend down all of our training. You never know, especially like for a really strong first turn, you might need to spend some force march, etc., etc. So we'll save a little bit for that. You chill, chill. Chill. So we could at least jump this guy, I guess. I think the important part will be that our navy sticks together, really, more than anything else. Would be good to add a general, but these are, yeah, already required elsewhere. Okay. Let that go. Okay. Let's pick ourselves. Do we get a free chariot? Do we go rhetoric? I think we want rhetoric. If I remember correctly, that was, yeah, and we have tagged it conveniently like that. We'll do that. And we could at least promote this one boat once. General combat strength. Okay. Well, I think we're going to leave it here then. We have, I think the headliner here is eliminated the Danes. Our northern border is secure. Next time, it's time, right? We are very nearly ready. And I think that's just in time as well, especially if this goes the way we want it to. Diplomatically, if we can solidify again with Aksum, there's really not much keeping us from going all in over there. One caveat over here. But I think we'll be okay. I think this is the move, and I think we are ready. So I'm looking forward to it. Get psyched. This is going to be a fun scrap that we have, I think, next time. Let's see how it goes. Cool. Well, hey, as always, I enjoyed this a lot. I still am every time. I'm having a blast with this, so I hope you are too. And do come by for the next one. I think it's going to be a banger. I'm excited. But until then, have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.